Hello everybody, my name is Elaine and today I am going to tell you, yes you, why you should read 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott with Mikey Daugherty and Tobias Yaknis. I'm not sure how you say his name. But actually those two had written this story as a script and then Rachel developed this book from that script. So it's very cool that they did that. So that's why there's 3 on there in case you were wondering. If you didn't know, this book is being made into a movie with Cole Sprouse. Cole Sprouse. It looks really fantastic and I'm very excited for it. But I wanted to tell you why you should read the book first and how awesome the book is. So if you don't know what it's about, the main character's name is Stella. And Stella has cystic fibrosis, which is an inherited life-threatening disorder that disrupts the function of the lungs and the digestive system. Basically not fun. People with cystic fibrosis have a shorter lifespan. They have to go through countless treatments. And 2 people with cystic fibrosis are not allowed to go within 6 feet of one another because they could catch each other's germs or whatever and they could die. So it's very serious. And Stella has been in and out of the hospital her whole life. And this hospital that she's at is her home, basically, her home away from home. And she has one point of view, and the other point of view is Will. Now, Will and Stella are very different. Stella is, I'm going to take these medications every day. She runs a vlog about life with cystic fibrosis. She created an app for people with lifelong disorders and diseases that is a schedule and reminds them when to take their medication. And Will, on the other hand, is your edgy, we're all gonna die anyways. Have you ever seen me without this hat? I'm a weirdo. I'm just gonna wear a beanie and be edgy. I'm not going to take this medicine. Ugh. You know the type, right? The Jughead Jones, you know? Cole Sprouse is playing Will in the movie. Can you think of a more perfect person? Because I can't. Cole Sprouse. Okay, so Stella follows all the rules. Enter Will. And instantly, they're not fans of each other because you've got a control freak and someone who just does what they want. And things are a little rocky, but they can't deny that instant attraction that they have, right? And it's just about their story and how they become friends and a little more than friends and what cystic fibrosis has done to them and how it affects their relationships. And one of the major questions of this book and this story is, can you love someone that you can never touch? Because Stella and Will can never touch. Especially because Will has something else on top of cystic fibrosis called B-sephacia? When you have cystic fibrosis, you can be on the lung transplant list, but he caught this bacteria and now he can't get new lungs anymore. Basically, it's a no-go, and Stella cannot get that, or she will not be allowed to get new lungs. And it's pretty scary and pretty sad. This book is about 2 teenagers living with a life-threatening disorder, trying to take a little bit back. And you should definitely read it, because Stella and Will are so lovable. I just love them, and I want the best for them. I love Stella so much, and I just want her to be happy and live her best life. So the 2 characters, Stella and Will, had amazing chemistry. I thought that the way that their interactions were written was beautiful. I also loved all of the side characters. There is Barb and Julie and Poe, and they are also at the hospital. Barb and Julie are nurses, and Poe is Stella's best friend who also has cystic fibrosis. And their relationships, even though Poe and Stella can't go near each other, they have a beautiful friendship. And I love that that was included. And Strong, Barb, and Julie, the caring nurse, like they're included too. And it's just beautiful. All of these characters, they're just so cool. And they all care about Stella, and everybody's just supporting each other, and they're just living with love. So another thing about cystic fibrosis is that it's not something that's very common in the media or in movies or books. I don't even think I have ever seen anything about cystic fibrosis. I have met someone with cystic fibrosis, but it's not exactly small talk to just be like, hey, what are all of your treatments? You know, so I can't tell you 100% if the representation of cystic fibrosis and its treatments are 100% accurate. However, I will tell you that it is not romanticized. The way that the author describes the treatments and cystic fibrosis is a very realistic way. She doesn't gloss over anything. So I did like it. It was a very realistic approach. I did read some responses to the trailer, the movie trailer, that people with cystic fibrosis had put out, and one girl said, you know, it doesn't bug me if it's not 100% painstakingly accurate, because it's going to get people talking about CF, and that's something that we need. It's going to bring awareness to CF. And I loved that, because, you know, I've never seen it anywhere ever talked about. I didn't even really know what it was until I heard about this book and this movie. So it's bringing representation to something that so desperately needs it, because this story needed to be told. I needed to read this. And I loved it. And it just makes me so sad, because these people deserve the world, and that's exactly what CF is taking from them, the world. And so you know what? They need to find a cure. And maybe this book will get future doctor and medicine people inspired to find a CF cure. While I did absolutely adore this book and love that it was being told, I wasn't the biggest fan of the writing style. I did think that there were parts that seemed a little simple, basic, you know, just kind of cut and dry simple sentences. And I didn't think that Will and Stella's point of views were that different. It was almost like the same person was explaining Will and Stella's thoughts. Does that make sense? It wasn't diverse and different enough. I couldn't, like, if you just open a random page and you took all the names out, I probably wouldn't be able to tell which one was Stella's and which one's was Will, because they were so similar. So if the two points of views were absolutely necessary, I wish they were more diverse and distinct. Otherwise, it could have just been written from Stella's point of view. I really did love this book, though. I thought it, first of all, look at the beautiful cover. It's a beautiful story with beautiful human beings. It needed to be told. It's fantastic. I cried so much. And representation matters, and that's why I love this book. Recently, I've been really into books with people that are so unlike myself. I read this with cystic fibrosis. I read a book about a girl with schizophrenia, and I just love it, because that's what books are for. You can read about someone completely unlike yourself and experience what they're going through, and you just have a greater understanding of the world around you. And I just absolutely love that, and I highly, 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 highly recommend that you read 5 Feet Apart, even if you're not a fan of romance, even if you're not a fan of cheesiness, because I will tell you, this book comes with some serious cheese. And even if you're just like, I don't want to cry, it's worth it. It is so worth it to read about these beautiful human beings and let them inspire you, because they have cystic fibrosis and they're not allowed to go within 6 feet of each other. But you know what Will and Stella do? They steal a foot back, and they stay 5 feet apart instead of 6 feet apart. And it's just absolutely beautiful. And please, 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 please read 5 Feet Apart and go see the movie and just support and just stay inspired. So please go read this book. It's beautiful. You won't regret it. Even though I did say the writing was a little bit cheesy at some points, but it's okay. So thank you guys so much for listening to my rant about why you should read 5 Feet Apart. Have a wonderful day. Bye.